So Joe Biden wants to talk about garbage. Now, thankfully, the mainstream media have picked up on this, and there isn't a consensus that it's all okay with them now, because they're mostly preparing for a Trump win, because not much. If you vote for Kamala Harris, you're just voting about abortion, and she's lied about everything. Trump would veto any abortion ban that was put in front of his desk. He's funding IVF in a way that no one else has ever done before. And he's been in interracial relationships and one interracial marriage. So to call him a racist guy is just not knowing who he is. Now, you're going to talk about garbage. And Biden, again, quiet part out loud. He's done it. Lock him up the other day was the one that goes, I meant. But here's the thing with degenerative brain disorders, and I am an expert on this. Well, I say I'm a psychologist and a very skilled layman neurologist, and I happen to have early onset dementia, unfortunately. So I'll be dying before I'm 50. But I had a lot more brain to start with than Joe did, and I'm doing all right so far. But so it's unacceptable in every way to even consider that the people voting for Donald Trump are all of one type of person. Now, I'm going to say this again. I'm going to say it till I'm blue in the face. Racism is an independently held belief. Why Joe Biden decided to make the statement that America was inherently racist and systemically so. That he made that in 2020 and that changed America completely. And it led to the BLM Summer of Love, where they caused $2.2 billion worth of damage to everything they could. Dead policemen, never mind. They won't get locked up for it. The left activists don't get locked up. And now, the FBI, the report is coming out after the election, but one of the guys on it has done an interview with Tucker Carlson, explains what's in it. The January 6th insurrection was actually done by Nancy Pelosi and the FBI, with over 200 agents dressed as MAGA supporters, and some of them inside the Capitol to help direct the rioters. And one of the people who broke the Capitol doors went to prison, and the other guy's a free man, and he works for the FBI. That will come out just after the election. So, what is garbage? Why use that kind of terminology? Let's look at actions and rather than that empty vessel type words. So Joe Biden turned America hard left. Honestly, it's just America was doing all right. The cultural battle was being fought until Joe Biden went, no, everyone who wants a sex change gets a sex change. No, we can't pass laws around anything that could be, even though it's a 1 in 2 chance of success for gender affirming care, which is a new phrase since 2019, never existed before. But 1 in 2 success, elective surgery on our children. Let's have some more of that, was what Biden and Harris said. And specifically Tim Walz, who's actually passed the harshest parental basically any child from anywhere in the whole of America can get on a train to Minnesota, and any adult of the age of 18 can take custody of that child, because in Minnesota, not giving your child gender affirming care, meaning if they ask for sex change and you refuse, he has put that into the category of child abuse and made it punishable by having your children taken away from you. That's who he is. He is the designer of that. It's not like it was there when he got there. he designed this. He made the statement he wanted Minnesota, the whole Minnesota, to be a sanctuary city for trans people. Now, trans people is a very new concept to a lot of us because, frankly, I can tell you as a fact, until it was declassified as a mental health disorder in 2019 by the WHO, it affected 0.004% of people, and that is the highest estimate. I can go lower. I can go an extra decimal point at 41. 0.030 zeros and 41. That's the lowest. Why is everybody trans? Why are all the kids? I'm not saying all, but if even 1%, which is guaranteed across the whole of Europe and the West and America, identify as trans, they don't have gender dysphoria. They aren't trans. They don't feel like they're in the wrong body. Because 35 years of it happening to 0.004% of people can't turn into 1% in 5 years with any scientific, societal, or psychological explanation. And that is really something that needs to be stopped. These puberty blockers, the idea of over-sexualizing children in schools, the idea of drags, Queen's Story Hour, teaching CRT, teaching how to hate, is one of the real things they've done to that generation. Generation Z have had it rough, but they're still acting like dickheads. And unfortunately, if you walk into your kitchen and it's flooding because you left the tap on, you need to turn the tap off. Until then, I'm well happy to help with any individual, or I wouldn't do a group thing, but I'd be very happy to help once the tap's been turned off. Otherwise, what are you doing? What's the point of mopping a floor that's just going to keep getting wet? Eventually you'll drown. Now, if you're listening to this, if you are of that 0.004% of adults or children or youngish people, so probably it might kick in before the age of 10, just about, and it would be pretty prevalent, and it would be prevalent upon puberty. That's the travesty. Puberty blockers are given to kids when puberty is the only thing that will assure them they're making the right decision. That's the sadness of that. And that's all Kamala Harris and Joe Biden's absolute left-leaning woke policy. And wokeness is going to get a very, very big comeuppance because it met with the middle and the working class, and they went, what the? No, not a chance. Not on my watch, not on my day. So, unfortunately, the trans invasion, I'm calling it that now, trans invasion, or transmania, I like that phrase, transmania, has only been around for about 6 years. Before that, people who actually fought for trans rights had to go through therapy, talk through the process, understand the drugs they would get, understand the surgery, make decisions as adults, and rarely regretted it. Now, the suicidality rate for trans people, and that is a new wave of transmania, is 2 years after successful surgery. So anyone who tells you that it's more likely they're going to kill themselves without the surgery than with it is lying through their teeth, and that includes the World Professional Association of Transgender Health, WPATH, who have committed the biggest medical scandal in the world history. Possibly the lobotomy comes close as a second, but it is a second. This is child butchery on a grand scale for no reason other than identity politics and being woke and being really liberal so that anything anyone says they want, they get. It's not the way to run the world, and it's not the way to treat our children. Children don't make good decisions on their own. They need help and they need stimulus from adults. So I'll leave it there. You be lucky. I'll be good. Think about what I said. I'll speak to you soon.